I don't know what's happening. This isn't just rage.
Crane?
What do you want from me? I will kill every fucking one of them if I have to. What the fuck is happening to me?
Another thing about Dying Light, aside from parkour, of course, it's a melee combat-focused game with lots of brutality, lots of gore. I think that's something that's very important in the zombie genre, that you really need to show the guts, you really need to show the blood, you really need to show the kind of the brains being exposed, the heads being cut.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much of it can we show because I think the previous games were a little bit on the family-friendly side. But that's also a good thing because Aaron is having fun because he knows how to play the game. He spent hundreds of hours in it. But again, this is a game where you see zombies, you don't just run at them and slash them. Like, you really want to make sure that whatever you do makes sense, that you don't take unnecessary risks. That's a nice thing. Actually, maybe it's also worth mentioning that a lot of our combat in Dying Light the Beast is created using physics and ragdolls. If we have animations that are super short just to represent what happens with the enemy that you are hitting. So, like, you will encounter hundreds of zombies here, but every fight with a zombie is different because the reaction is always different. Sometimes he hits an obstacle, sometimes he hits another zombie. There's lots of those cool emergent moments.
Yeah. You were speaking about some of the melee weapons that we've used already, like we've had machetes and all sorts. What sort of weapons can we find in the world of Dying Light?
There's more than 100 melee weapons and of course the classic stuff for the genre. So I don't know, gas pipes, crowbars, machetes, hammers, axes, wrenches, things that you can basically find all around you. But also if you dig deep enough, and that's a very important aspect of Dying Light the Beast, that there are lots of secrets that you can actually uncover if you dig deep enough. You can find weapons like medieval swords, very unusual creations of the survivors. So really a lot of very fancy looking and fancy working and effective weapons that are really a lot of fun to play.
I like the sound of a medieval sword. That sounds pretty badass, to be fair. Do you guys have favorites? What's your favorite weapon of choice?
Samurai sword.
Samurai, of course, like a classic.
It's probably a boring answer, but yeah.
But for me, actually, it's a flamethrower, something new to Dying Light the Beast. So for some reason, like, even though we are making zombie games, we didn't have a flamethrower before. So Dying Light the Beast, aside from the melee weapons and a big focus on firearms as well, introduces a number of new weapons. So flamethrower, grenade launcher, saw blade launcher, and a number of additional hidden stuff that you will have to find as you play the game. We are now living the time. We are now living the town, and actually that's an example of one of the open world activities. Like, there are places like this spread all over the world with which you can interact. If you manage to survive, Aaron.
It just came out of nowhere.
Remember your fault is
survival horror. I'm demonstrating exactly what we want, right?
Yeah, that's true. So, like, military combos like this, if you manage to kill all of the infected here, or if you manage to outsmart them, because that's also an option. You can, for example, use a decoy, draw them to like away from this place, and then try to loot it. That's a very good place to find some ammo for your firearms. And as I said, firearms have really received a lot of love from us as developers in Dying Light the Beast.
Okay. He's a bit too big for now, I think, this guy, right?
This one, like, let's not risk it. You already died once,
They're playing with fire.
Like, the guys back at home are making bets, like, will he die again?
Oh. So firearms, there's a little bit more of a focus on?
Yes, absolutely. Maybe we could actually use the rifle. What do you think? It will get messy because the thing about firearms is they make a lot of noise.
Got you.
So as soon as you start shooting, there's a chance that the virals, the fast-moving zombies will come. Actually, I think there's one guy over there.
All right, let's see what's up with that water.
Let's go inside.
Yeah, let's
Safer.
try to hide. Like, we'll see if that works.
Safer inside. Oh my.
Yeah,
gosh,
but-
okay.
Relatively. I'd say.
A little bit, like it's never safe in the world of Dying Light. Like what I like to say is that it's actually one of the most dense open worlds out there, because basically every part of the map is something where you play the game, where you do some kind of interaction. Either you parkour, which is also like interaction, you click buttons, like you're trying to get somewhere, you make decisions where you want to go. Combat the same, you get surrounded, suddenly there's a group coming from one direction, group from the other. Constantly something is happening, like you are never bored. It's very intense, very dense experience.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. A lot to explore and discover, and hate every kind of trip outside of the safe zone is probably not going to be exactly the same as before.
Yeah, so Dying Light was built out of emergent moments, and we actually we did fight with some of the guys with the tanks, for example, right? But actually we didn't trigger them, so maybe if there's an opportunity, but like actually that's a nice thing, or maybe we can keep the
I think there's some better opportunities.
The town in the middle of the map is actually built to be almost like a parkour paradise. We really wanted to squeeze as much as possible out of this location, so players are able to seamlessly showcase all of the parkour skills, jump, run, wall run, slide, connect all of that together. How are you feeling? Do you want to fight some zombies?
No, I think we could. We got it. There's plenty of them around. I think,
Okay.
We'll warm up to that. That's
yeah.
fair. Let's see some parkour, because obviously that's so intrinsic to
Yeah,
Dying
absolutely.
Light
So
as
Dying
well.
Light was built on parkour, right? Like when we started working on the series, we actually asked David Bell, who's the grandfather of parkour. He's the inventor of modern parkour, to help us, to share his insights, his expertise. We got him in our studio, we mock-up his moves, we asked him to basically tell us how close we are to reality, because one thing about Dying Light is we always put a lot of emphasis on immersion. We really want to make players feel like they are part of this world, like they are the character there. come on, Aaron, like the whole QA department is looking at you.
You do no.
It's a lot of pressure for a live
It's all part of the. It's all part of the plan. It's dying light, you know.
But I think it's worth saying that this is like, you might look at the game, you might look at the screenshots and think, oh, okay, I see a machete, I see a guy, I see some zombies. It's just easy peasy. I go slash to zombies. Absolutely not. This is a survival game. This is a thinking man's survival game. So you constantly have to be on your toes. You constantly need to think like a survival to survive. Even if you are as a good player as Aaron, you have to constantly look at. You have to look at every step that you take.
It happens to the best of us.
And I can understand why Aaron is nervous. Like before coming here, we had a conversation that actually the whole QA team, from which Aaron is, they were aware that he'll be playing, so they are watching right now, putting extra pressure on the guy.
I kept it quiet, and it was.
But don't worry.
Aaron, you're doing amazing.
Thank you.
And by the way, if I just made using the opportunity, let's just wave to our QA guys, because they are really putting a lot of work into this. They are the most important part of the dev team in this very final stretches of the production, because we are basically just 4 weeks from releasing the game.
So exciting.
Yes, so very close. Actually, maybe we can loot some stuff, right?
Yeah. I think it's a good chance here.
I love this layout so far. I mean, the town itself feels a little bit on the less living and breathing side of things for now, but it still feels so realistic, as if I've actually felt those textures and been in places like this before.
So actually this is something that we are very proud about, because like the whole world has been handcrafted by our level artists. And not only handcrafted, but also they've managed to put a lot of Easter eggs, in-jokes into the world. So like the posters you see there, like they have even scanned some of the items that they have in their homes, in their houses, and kind of brought them into like the virtual versions here in the game. I'm not sure we'll see that, but for example, there's a blanket with a lion.
We might get a chance.
Yeah, we might get a chance to see that. So actually, that's a blanket that was scanned, taken from grandma of one of our artists, and in a way to kind of honor her and put something very real into the game. We have the blanket and a lot of other different items. The whole map has been created by hand by our artists. That's why it feels so immersive. It feels real, like every square inch is different.
Yeah, you've really put heart and soul into it. I mean, the second game, obviously, it's in the title, Dying Light 2 Stay Human. So I think that's been one of my favorite parts of the Dying Light games, is it's set aside from other games like that because it feels so realistic. And,
realistic also in the
combat.
Exactly. Representation of course.